Welcome to Out for the Count TV. Today we're delighted to be joined by the reigning Commonwealth Super Flyweight champion, Emma Dolan. How you doing, Emma?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Nice one. Yeah, not too bad at all, thank you. It's been a few days since you retained your title now. Has the dust settled, or are you still reeling from a fantastic performance?
Yeah, no, dust is settled. I'm pleased with it, and yeah, gonna have a nice little rest, and we'll go again.
Yeah, yeah. What was your assessment of your performance?
I performed all right, considering there was a bit of needle and that before the fight, a little bit, and there was a bit of pressure on the fight, and that I was happy enough in performance. So I give it a 6, 7 out of 10 overall. I know I can box a lot better than that. It was a bit of a messy fight at times, but I got the job done. I won pretty much every round, so I was happy over it, really.
Yeah, yeah. And you did sort of come into the lion's den, really. I did notice in the press conference and the way in it was sort of like the support was, heavily for Nicola. Was that something that affected you, or was it, just you're here to do a job?
No, I thrive off stuff like that. I kind of liked it. I liked a bit of the getting a bit of stick at the way in and that. I liked all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like proving people wrong, and I know in there is the underdog really to a lot of people, and I knew what I could do, and my team know what I could do, and that's it. And got it done now. Proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So early on in the fight, you made it extremely difficult for Nicola to close the gap. And when she did get close, she were met by some brilliant combinations. Did you expect that, and was it something that you prepared for?
Yeah, I mean, it's no illusion that I'm very big for the weight. So I want to keep things that are going to favour myself the best, aren't I? So, obviously early on we wanted to keep things long, and I did think she was going to rush me. I was 90% sure she was going to rush me, and she did. So, yeah, we wanted to keep things long, let her walk onto shots, and yeah, it was a good fight. She was a tough girl.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Nicola, what did you make of her performance?
Yeah, Nicola done well. Not to undermine her, but it went similar to what I thought. I remember seeing her get up off the stall about sixth, seventh round. She hadn't been past that distance before, and you can see a difference in her body language. She would have took a lot from that fight. Well, she should do. She should she went 10 rounds, and she learned a lot. I should hope, and yeah, she'll come back.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you mentioned that it were a 10 round fight. Do you think your previous experience in 10 rounders helped you? And if so, how so?
Well, yeah, it's bound to, isn't it? Every fight's bound to help the next fight. Obviously, I've been to 10 rounds before. I knew 10 rounds suits me, sort of thing. I've got a good engine, and I sort of get stronger as the fight goes on. If you watch the later rounds, you'll probably look a bit sharper in them than I do in the early rounds. It's just how I'm built. But yeah, I fought for the Commonwealth title from a 6 to a 10 in my fifth fight. Nicola than her fourth, so people act like I had a lot more experience than her. I had one more fights experience than her, really. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And in the latter part of the fight, it was clear that you were winning. What was the instructions from Carl to sort of keep your head in the game?
Yeah, he was just telling me to box clever and not give anything away. Probably a bit more abrupt than that, but yeah, he's telling me to do what I'm doing. Um, I could have jumped on her a little bit more at times. Probably a couple of shots. I remember landing, thinking, "Oh, that was a good shot," but probably played it a bit safe. But that's it. I done what I done. I got the win.
Yeah, yeah, that's all that matters, isn't it, really? Yeah. And as for the event itself, it were a packed out crowd. It was live stream on TalkSport Boxing. Did that bring any nerves, or was it just a bigger platform for you to showcase your skills?
Just a bigger platform. It was unbelievable. Izzy and his team want to be very, very proud of themselves. I mean, what a show, doing all that with no TV backing. I mean, they put a great show on. The place was jumping. It was packed. The production, everything of it. I'm really pleased to have been part of it. And yeah, he wants to be very happy with himself.
Definitely. It was for us, I mean, I know they don't like you calling it a small old show, but for a small old show, it were a brilliant atmosphere, weren't it? I was up in the cheap seats, but it's still, up there, it were brilliant.
Wherever you sat in there, though, because of the way the venue was, it's a good venue. Wherever you sat in there, you had a good view, didn't you? It was
Yeah,
a
definitely.
lot of people the tiered seated, and wherever you sort of sat, people could have a good view.
Yeah, yeah. And did you manage to catch any of the other fights? And if so, what performances was you impressed by?
Didn't didn't catch any, mate. I'm terrible. I don't really watch any of the fights before I fight. I'm sort of in there, don't want to talk to anybody. I think they come in, tried to give me an interview at the middle of it, and I was like, nah, I'm all right, just sort of getting zoned in. And then when I boxed, I got dragged off for a few interviews and speaking to a few people who come to watch me fight and that. So I didn't get a chance to watch any of them, unfortunately, but I'll watch them back
Yeah,
on at some point.
yeah, yeah. And what's next for Emma Dolan? I know that you've mentioned that you won't mind facing Laura Parker if she's successful in a European title fight. And obviously Shannon Ryan's, mentioned your name a few times.
Yeah, either of them. Obviously, I have options at this stage of my career, and there's no point just rushing into things because someone mentions your name because you'd be fighting all the time, wouldn't you? Like, I need to make the right fights at the right time, and I let Carl do that. But personally, I don't care who I fight, and I genuinely mean that. I don't have a problem with anybody, especially domestically. I don't think there's any problems there. But you need to make the right fights at the right times. I'd really like to step up and fight for the European title. I think it'd be a good fight, regardless of the winner. I'd like Lauren to win because I think it'd be a bigger fight in the UK and everything. But and I believe she can win that fight as well. So hopefully she gets through that, and I'd like to fight for the European title next.
Yeah, I think that one makes the most sense, to be honest, for your career moving forward, definitely. And just finally, have you got any message for the fans that came to show support? I know you
Yeah,
probably made a few new fans as well that night.
yeah. I'm sure we turned a few haters into fans. Hopefully, few few people. It was a good fight, wasn't it? I think a lot of people warmed to the fight. It was a good fight. It was an action packed fight. But yeah, just massive thank you to everybody who come out. I mean, it's not cheap night out, is it? Once you've sort of travelled down and once you bought tickets and maybe a hotel room and that, and it all adds up. So I really appreciate everybody come down to watch me and watch everybody else on the card because if people don't buy tickets, shows don't go ahead. So I really appreciate it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, that's all from me, Emma. But I do really do appreciate your time today, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.
Definitely, mate. Thank you.